Now, on to the most important part of the week, our second Indie of the Week. And this is another one that we've covered before, but we're covering it now for a very specific reason. Do you want to tell them the very specific reason, Benjamin?
Yeah, so Otherworld miniatures, which have been a stalwart of the miniature wargaming world for a very, very long time, are going to be doing a closing down sale. So he is hanging up his boots and his sculpting gloves, I guess. I don't know. He's guttering the fire in the forge and is heading off for a well-earned retirement. Don't worry, though, the miniatures are going to exist within other ranges. However, in the meantime, with the end of the website coming up very soon at the end of July, Otherworld are holding a closing down sale. So currently, and I say currently because things are going at a rate of knots.
Yes.
There is 50% off the entire range of miniatures using the code So Long and Thanks, which is a very good reference, obviously, to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I'll put the code down below as well, so you can check it out for yourself. But the entire of the range is 50% off, and once it's gone, it's gone. So make sure to check it out over this weekend, because he reckons by the end of Sunday, these might all have been scooped up, which is insane. But yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a range we've loved in the past, talked about extensively. There are some absolutely to die for miniatures in here, and I'm not just talking about the giant slug. Although I will look at the giant slug. Oh, he's already gone. Look at him. Look how, I mean, you could see why he'd go. Because if there's something that your opponents are not going to expect, especially, I mean,
big ass slug,
something coming down the corridor, maybe your party decide to run and bar the door. It's a slug. It'll just and squeeze underneath. You imagine those just eye stalks coming up first, and then the rest of the hulking monstrosities slowly slipping through there. Yeah. Oh, that's disgusting.
You'll have been happy when the thief managed to take that pot of salt from the local tavern a day earlier. So,
maybe not the noise it made. Our slugs just snails that lost the house in the divorce. Anyway,
comments down below.
Man, we're going into like slug subculture now. This is insane. Wow.
Writing the backstory. People will be aware of this from classic D&D book cover way back in the past. It's an absolute gorgeous piece of kit.
Really is.
It's almost undoubtedly sold out as well. Yeah, out of stock. So yes, things are going quickly. I'm not going to go through every single bit in here because you'll spend an age in it, but I would like to see things like the undead. Where's our undead live? Because the undead are one of my favorite ranges.
Is fantastic.
Yeah.
One of the nice things about what Otherworld have done as well is that, as well as having like a really nice selection of quote unquote generic stuff for you to use in your fantasy games. So like be it D&D or Frostgrave or whatever. There's also like a lot of their series miniatures. So they've worked with either book creators or people who've done stuff for modules and things, and they've designed for like role-playing games, and then they've designed miniatures around that. Like I picked up the Beowulf miniatures and Grendel and Grendel's mother, and they're amazing. Their undead range is phenomenal. I know for a fact that's going to get snapped up and added into however many different ranges that other people have. I know Crooked Dice have already picked up a whole bunch of it.
Yeah.
You can see why as well. Stuff for 7TV. The Death Knight. Oh my god, it's one of the best models I think I've ever seen for an undead character.
Just
so good.
Spot on for anybody who needs a white to absolutely cripple a party with, or lead a unit. Oh, he's already gone. Yeah,
I know.
You're gonna have to get in quickly.
Yeah. I checked this morning. I was most dismayed that I hadn't looked earlier in the week, but
it's one of those creepy Japanese,
the Japanese monsters. Yeah,
it's just a head,
a string of guts. Yeah,
head with the spine and all the intestines. That bounces, I think, towards you like some sort of weird pogo stick.
Looks like it bounces.
Yeah,
it's either bounces or floats. They're big on floating heads in Asian horror as well.
Maybe it slinkies towards you, like.
Like some sort of very
Concertinas? Is
wet
that the word?
snail.
Yeah.
Yeah, concertina. Yeah.
Yeah. Concertina.
Yeah, I don't want to think of any of that. But you can see the quality of the sculpts, and hopefully all of them find a new home. I'd be very surprised if anything is left on the shelf by the end of the sale. I'd be even more surprised if any of the ranges don't find a new home.
Yeah.
Because the quality of them is absolutely superb, including things like the ghouls, which I'm fairly certain will match perfectly with heresies and bad squidoos. Ghoul range, which are lurking down the bottom, the Skelly Bob Warrior. There we go. Ghouls and even some ghasts. I mean, those are superb. Look at them coming at you out of a grave, creeping along. It's nice to see organized religion still has a place in Ghoul Society. Bad monk. No, bad. Don't want to hear about your monkey ways.
It's great to see so much of it is out of stock. It's great to see they have the support towards the end of just getting everything cleared out.
I think there'll be a lot of people like me who have looked at ranges like this and went, oh, they're great, I'll pick them up at some point. And then all of a sudden heard this and went, panic! And immediately just grab everything they can, because you don't, at the moment, it's all in one place. It's a collection, and you can go, well, I know X, Y, and Z's here. In a month or 2 or 3, by the time everything's closed up and the molds have been sold to whoever, they've got to get them, catalog them, start casting them, put them on their own websites, and then you have to find them. And knowing that Crooked Dice will have some is great, but then you go, well, Crooked Dice don't have the dragons. Who's got those? Or, for example, I have no idea what they've got their hands on. But yeah, you may end up having to go and hunt around and see whether Midlam or whoever else, because they'll be wanting ranges that supplement their own, but don't look out of place.
It might be nice for Otherworld maybe to just have a landing page that tells you who got what range, just as a guide.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the case. Actually, I think
so if you come
on social media where they're going to do something like that, John. Yeah. So.
That'd be good. I mean, somebody else did that whenever they were going away. I can't remember who it is now. I had it a second ago.
I know. There's a couple of companies. There's a couple of companies in the past that have sold off stuff to other companies, and
Studio Miniatures did it. Yeah. Studio Miniatures had a little thing going. The Medieval Mayhem range is now at Hayland, so if you're wanting that, just go there.
Rubicon Miniatures bought a resin casting guy as well, and I think his original page just points to Rubicon because he was doing resin upgrade sets for vehicles and stuff. So.
Yeah, makes sense. I know a lot of people use this stuff for D&D and role-playing games and things, but I've also seen a lot of people picking these up for basically all of Joseph McCullough's games. So Rangers Shadow Deep, Frostgrave, etc. A lot of these would be really good. There's a particular scenario in Rangers of Shadow Deep where you have to fight your way up a tower and then fight a wight at the end of it. Spoilers. But a lot of people picked up as it was the wight that we looked at earlier for that, and they use a lot of the NPCs that Otherworld have done to slot them into the different games, because often you'll have to find random people from sort of exploring houses and things, and so this collection was fantastic for that. I know a lot of people dived in and had a look at the stuff that they were offering. Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah. They're all really, really nice metal sculpts as well. For the most part, they're like one piece, maybe two.
Yeah.
So you just pop them on a base and away you go, really. So I picked up
He's
the Wizard and one of the book learning scribes for Frostgrave back when the first edition came out, and I really enjoyed painting them up. And then got one of their knights as well, to use as a martial leader for Frostgrave. That was very cool.
He's done up a cockatrice. I'll teach it. He'll come around here turning people to stone. Anyway,
I think this would work quite well with the stuff from
Antediluvian Miniatures. I was looking at some of the bits and pieces in the fantasy.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a good match, proportions wise and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of cracking companies out there that these would be great, not just to supplement the range, but to expand it like that. So, I mean, not having to build up the molds and, well, not molds, the sculpts and the like over the years. Just a one done, thank you, is just absolutely fantastic. You've got him, haven't you?
I don't, unfortunately.
How could you not have Aragon?
I know.
I almost swore there.
Yeah,
that's so weird. You're gonna have to find him now.
I am.
I suggest you start looking in Prancing Pony inns up and down the country.
Yeah.
See if he's sitting in the corner.
It's especially galling because I look at, going back to McCullough, I look at McCullough's blog quite a lot, the Renaissance Troll, and he has quite a lot of like old miniatures and stuff from like different companies like Otherworld, where he's like, here's my alternative for Aragorn or Gollum and things like that. And I'm like, oh man. So,
there's the Warlock from Firetop Mountain.
Yeah. I actually had a look at Otherworld not too long ago, and I think I probably need to explore a little bit more of their Dark Tower stuff, just to see if I can pick up some of their quirky characters and like spellcasters and stuff, because I want to dive into doing some sort of like Conan-esque stuff, as I think I talked about in XLBS a couple of weeks ago, and I'd love to get some of their characters to represent like shamans and stuff like that in my games. Very cool.
Yes.
Gorgeous dragons as well. Yeah.
The dragons are such a recent addition as well. I remember when he was in a news article only what feels like a few months ago.
Yeah.
Could have been 6 years, Jerry, you know.
Yeah. Everything was slightly longer.
Stick a warrior running up against that red dragon, and you've got the front cover of the red box.
Yep.
I wonder if someone will take the game that they designed, the Otherworld skirmish rules, where you just sort of played out dungeon delving battles against each other and play around with that. I think that would be cool if someone carried that on and continued to stock it. That would be nice.
That you mean?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I get that. Weirdly, again, that's something that came out ages ago, and I remember seeing it at Salute for the first time. Again, this was years and years ago at this point. Being like, oh, that's cool that they've designed like a fantasy skirmish game with your with all the miniatures in mind and stuff. Because you could take that rule set, apply it to like the battle systems terrain, you know, that they've done for dungeons and stuff.
Yes.
And you'd have a ready-made dungeon. You've got all the miniatures available and the rules and things. You could play out some fun stuff with that, I think. So,
that would be fancy. 2015 that came out.
I know. Oh my God. We're so old.
I would say that 10 years ago, but 10 years ago was the 90s. We knew that. So we don't have to worry about it too much. So this is more public service announcement than anything else. There is an absolute battery of stuff in there. As you can see, a lot of it's going, gone. So you may just have to scroll through, and you will spend a lot of time going, only I knew. Which, you know, c'est la vie.
I think the main thing to take away from it, though, is that if you do find something and you're like, maybe, I would just say yes and get it. I mean, it's 50% off anyway. But if you were like, maybe, that probably means you really want it, but you've just decided, potentially I'll come back. Just get it. It's the charity shop rules. If you see it and you want it, just buy it. Because it will be gone next day when you go back.
There's a troll about to get absolutely biffed by a minotaur.
Yeah, with a big biff as well. I mean,
yeah, that's huge. The size of it. You don't often see noses that big on trolls.
No, very true.
Assuming that's what you were talking about there, Benjamin.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Big snoz.
That's the bunny. So Otherworld miniatures. It's been emotional. Good luck on your retirement. And for everybody,
this will definitely build up the retirement fund. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So
just get in there, fill your boots for as much as you can. And if you see anything you want and it's already gone, then just bookmark that page and check their face page as well to see where those ranges are going to end up. So long, and thanks for all the fish. Right. Let's have a look at some news.